Good morning, welcome to this brand new day. Let this be a fresh start, an opportunity for you to commit to feeling better. So we're going to begin firstly by stretching. So if you're sitting up, just stretching your arms up overhead, and if you're lying down, you can do the same thing, just allowing your body to stretch out, elongate that spine. Maybe you'd like to point and flex your feet. Maybe you'd like to take your limbs out to either side, big starfish. Whatever you would like for your body to do to allow yourself to wake it up a little bit. And now just placing one hand on your belly, the other on your chest. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths. We're going to breathe in through our nose. Pause and hold that breath just for a moment before exhaling. You can exhale through the nose or the mouth, just making sure that the exhale is longer than the inhale. It doesn't matter by how much. And now we're going to focus in on our breath, just letting it return to its normal rhythm. And with each breath, we're going to label what we're thinking about. Now, ideally, this will be breath each time, but because we're humans, our minds will wander. So if you can, just label whatever it is that your mind wanders to, and then try and command your focus back towards the breath. So in your mind, it might sound a little bit like breath, breath, noise outside, breath, fan, breath, I'm cold, breath. Whatever it is, it's obviously going to be a lot slower because your breathing will be slower than that. But whatever it is that you focus on, don't berate yourself for it. Just keep trying to return to focusing on your breath. So we'll do that now. We'll just spend a minute or 2 focusing in on our breath. Just label whatever it is that you're focusing on, and if it isn't your breath, just return to focusing on that breath. Just returning your focus to that breath if it isn't there already. Just labeling each breath as breath. And again, just don't worry if your mind does wander. You are retraining it every time that you bring it back to focus on what you choose to focus on. And just labeling your last 3 breaths now. And we'll just keep our breath at this normal rhythm that you've allowed for yourself. And we're going to focus our attention on finding 5 things that we are grateful for this morning. and try and make them different to yesterday's gratitudes. It's a great practice to constantly seek out things that we are grateful for, and it's good if it's a challenge, because then it really builds that brain muscle of seeking and holding on to that feeling, that energy of gratitude, and our ability to remain positive about our lives. So go ahead now, you can speak them out loud or you can just think them to yourself, thinking of 5 things you're grateful for. They can be small things or they can be large things. Maybe you're grateful for the roof of your head today. Maybe you're grateful for nice weather. Maybe you're grateful for your pet or a loved one. There could be so many things to be grateful for. It doesn't take away from the challenges you face, but focusing in on the positives allows for everything to become a little bit easier. And once you have found your 5 things that you are grateful for, go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose. And we'll pause here before exhaling, either through the nose or through the mouth, just making it longer than the inhale. And another deep breath in through the nose. Pausing once again before that exhale. And now feel free to give yourself another stretch. Arms up overhead, feet pointed down away from you, really elongating your body as much as possible. And maybe you like to bring your arms up and your knees up. Maybe you want to hug your knees to your chest for a moment. And then just allow your legs to come back down, resting, stretched out. And we're going to scan from the bottom of our toes up to the top of our head, just looking for any areas of tension that we've woken up with. And with each breath in, we're going to choose an area to tense while we hold our breath and hold that tension in our body. And then as we release the breath, we'll release the tension as well. So we're going to focus on our feet to begin with. So deep breath in, flex those ankles, maybe curl the toes if you can without cramping, and hold that breath. Hold that tension. And then when you're ready, just sigh it out, letting go of that tension in your feet and your ankles. And the next breath in will focus from our ankles to our knees. So tightening up those calves and shins. Deep breath in now. Holding on to that tension and that breath. And when you can't hold it anymore, letting it go. And next we'll focus on our knees to our buttocks. So deep breath in, tightening up your thighs, tightening up those buttocks, maybe locking the knees in place again. And when you're ready, relaxing, letting that tension go. Now we'll focus on our stomach and our lower back. So deep breath in. Tensing up that stomach and our lower back muscles. And after holding that breath, holding that tension, when you're ready to release that breath, you can release the tension as well. And next we'll do our chest and upper back. Deep breath in. Focusing your attention on holding tight your chest and your upper back, and that breath, holding on to it all. And when you're ready, sighing it out, letting it go. And next we're going to do from our fingertips up to our shoulders. Deep breath in. Holding on to that tension, holding on to that breath. And when you're ready, letting it all go. And next we're going to do our shoulders and neck. So deep breath in, tensing that area up. Holding on to it, holding on to that breath. And when you're ready, letting it go. And next we're going to do our face and our head. Deep breath in. Contort that face into a ridiculous shape. And when you're ready, letting it go, sighing it out. And now you can return to a particular area that felt really good, or you can do a whole body tense and release, your choice now. Deep breath in. Holding this one as long as you possibly can. And when you're ready, letting it all go, releasing. And now you can reintroduce a bit of movement to your body. Maybe you want to roll your ankles, roll your wrists. You might want to bend your knees. Maybe you like to take your knees out to the side, really open up your hips now. Perhaps you'd even like to take your arms out either side. Maybe make some readjustments to your shoulder blades. Allow your chest to open up along with your hips. And if you wish to sit up for this next part, you can, but you are also welcome to remain lying down. If you are going to sit up, perhaps roll yourself gently to one side and press yourself off the floor. And we are going to find ourselves comfortable wherever we are sitting or laying, and we're going to give our face some loving attention. So to begin with, we're just going to pinch along our brow, so you can draw that energy, that worrisome energy, away from your brow by pressing down along your brow until you're pinching your eyebrows. And once you find your way to the edges of your eyebrows, then begin finger painting a line underneath each eyebrow and then one along the eyebrow, just taking notice of all of those little intricate hairs of your eyebrow. Then one just above the eyebrows. And you can move in these little increments all the way up your brow until you reach your hairline. And once you make it to your hairline, then feel free to have a good old explore of your scalp. So really get in there, mess that hairdo up, and we'll just add to the bed hair. Just give yourself a good old scalp massage, really awaken the brain, awaken all of your hair. Maybe it'll start growing quicker. And just coming to find your way to your temples, so just in little circular motions perhaps on your temples there, and then making your way to your jaw. Sometimes it can clench up overnight, so just allow it to soften and fall open, just massaging that joint in there. And you might feel good to give your cheeks a big smoosh. And perhaps exploring along your cheekbones, along your nose and underneath your nose. Just really have a play around your face with your fingers, exploring what needs to be given some love and attention here. And making your way to your earlobes, just pinching along the sides there. And then maybe moving from the back of your ears in an upwards direction, sort of massaging the back of your head. And then maybe from your ears you want to take it down the back of your neck. Maybe there's some tension that you're holding in your neck that can be a little bit released. Just exploring the back of your neck. And then we're going to move into doing the big 6 lymphatic movements, exercises. So underneath your jaw, just taking 2 fingers I'm going to rub along here 10 times. And then tapping. And then on the other side. And then tapping. And then same thing, but just above the collarbone, so not on the bone, just above, but running along the length of it, using your collarbone to guide you. And after 10 of those, tapping 10 times, and then on the other side, tapping. And then gentle fists, just rubbing them down along your chest, back and forth. Now I like to do this one with the rubbing 20 times because I'm moving back and forth. Just want to make sure I get all of the areas in my chest. As per usual, I've forgotten to actually start counting, but that feels about right. And then just tapping 10 times. And then we're going to move to just below our breast or pec area and brushing, alternating that top hand back and forth 10 times over in this spot. And then tapping. This next one can look a little sus. I'm just going to shift to show you, but you might be able to stay where you are to do it. In the crease of our groin, just with our thumbs, moving a down and outward motion. And then tapping. And then behind our knees. And then coming back to sitting down. And we will move through a round of Qigong to allow us to have some energy this morning. And we'll begin with those slightly cupped hands on our belly, tapping our way up our body, tapping over our chest, and then taking one hand and taking it to underneath the underarm, down the inside of the arm, then back up the outside of the arm, big pat on the back, taking the other arm across, down the inside, big happy seal in the middle, back up the top, and a pat on the back. Now tapping our way down our face, gently down the middle, and then slightly further out, slightly further out again, and then just tapping over the top of our heads, down onto the back of our neck, slightly further out, and down again to the back of our neck, and then just above the ears and around. And now we're going to move on to our kidneys, so tapping on our lower back and moving onto our outer thigh, onto the top of our feet, back up the inside of our legs, coming to rest with your hands on your belly, deep breath in. And just take a moment to feel gratitude for that energy that you've just created for yourself. And remember that you are capable of creating that same energy for yourself at any stage today. If you're feeling low, or if you need to shift out of a worrisome state into a more positive state, then a quick round of Qigong is a great way of doing that really quickly. Now we'll finish up with we'll together, so this will stimulate our vocal cord and then stimulate our vagus nerve, which is the longest nerve running through our body, and it alerts the whole system that we are calm, we are safe, we're able to stay in rest and digest mode, which is where we do most of our healing. So it's a great place to be. So let's begin now. We'll take our hands, clasp them together and place them on our chest so we can feel the vibration. And then just breathing in, deep breath now. finish up finally with just a stretch, just taking your arms up overhead and looking towards the sun, and maybe you like to interlace those fingers together and push them away from yourself, pushing them up towards the sky. And then bringing that same stretch down and pushing away from the body, so your body will curl over. And if you like, you can take this same stretch behind your head, bringing your elbows back, opening up the chest. And then taking your hands down by your sides. Now feel free to also stretch out your legs, bring some movement into your legs. And now I want to wish you the very best of everything that life can bring you today, and I hope that this morning practice has been a good one for waking you up in the most positive way. Enjoy your day.